All right, this is a big one, the $10,000 a week phone call script. You heard that right, 10K a week. So this is basically, we talk about there's marketing involved, there's the websites involved. Now when they're at your door, how do you actually close those sales? This is really, really important. This is the end. A lot of people do all the work and then right at the end they screw it up. So I'm gonna show you guys exactly what to say when your phone rings, all right? So come on over here, let me show you guys my $10,000 phone call script. So it starts here. When you answer the phone, really, really, really important. You're gonna say your name and you're gonna say who's calling. Only if it's an incoming call. If you're calling them, then don't say your name. That's a separate topic, but when I'm calling people, when I'm following up, I treat it differently. But when somebody's calling, thank you for choosing Bounce My House Party Rentals. This is Tariq. How can I help you? Right? Or what can I help you plan today? Even better. Thank you for calling Bounce My House Party Rentals. This is Tariq. What can I help you plan today? All right. I'm already putting in their head that I'm different from everybody else. I introduce myself. I'm professional, and I'm going to help them plan something today. Right? Gives them that experience feeling. Right? So they're going to start going on and on. My kid's birthday parties, blah, blah, blah. This is what I want. Oh, okay, nice. Very cool. All right. Can I have your first name, please? You take their name so that you can address them, because it's very important to say their name. You want to say people's name over and over again. That psychologically, people like to hear their name. Okay? Okay, Ashley, have you rented with us before? No. Really? I'm shocked. This is important. You need to be shocked that they've never rented with you before, because when you let them know that, they're like, really? You haven't heard of us? You're like, we are the #1 company. So I say, really? Well, welcome. We're proud to be the area's #1 party rental company. So you're definitely making a good choice here, Ashley. So I'm already letting her know that she made the choice. Now, I have the most number of Google reviews in my area. If that's not you, that's okay. Find your unique value proposition. What makes you special? What makes you better than everybody else? And use that, okay? So, and it doesn't even really matter. Like you just, even if you don't say anything like that, just you being shocked, like, really, you haven't rented with us before? Oh, okay. Well, hey, welcome. Excited to have you. You know, once people rent with us, they don't go anywhere else. We're awesome. My wife and I started this business. We really, really care. And man, I'm really excited. I actually, you know, where are you from? And you could kind of, oh, no, you don't want to get off topic too much, but that's the intro, and that's really important. Now, next, they're going to want to get to the price. They're going to want to get the info. You need to start building the order. So this is where I go into the software, and by now you should already have your software up. Make sure I'm in, add a new lead, and this is where I start, and I start collecting their information. So notice all the questions that I'm going to ask are asked in a very specific situation. So now I have their name, and I should be able to go in here, and I go to customer, and I put in their name. Next. Okay, so I'm going to create a lead in the rental software for every customer. This should be a seamless process. You don't want to make them feel like you're collecting a bunch of information. So I say, okay, I got your name. So when is your event, Ashley? Okay, it's actually Saturday, June 17th. Okay, now I have the date. So now I go to the date and I put in June 17th, right? June 17th, which is on a Tuesday. Very weird day to have an event. All right, boom. So now my system has a name, and now I can see what's available that day. Next. Okay, so is this for a birthday party, family reunion? What are you guys planning? Yeah, it's my son's birthday party. I actually have a space in my software where I enter that, and I know a lot of people don't, but I like to know for remarketing purposes. If it's a funeral, I don't want to remarket. Next, you're going to want to ask about the address. Now, this is where a lot of people screwed up. Do not ask for their address. I say, hey, sounds like a lot of fun, unless it's a funeral. So say, sounds like a lot of fun and a lot of work. Man, God bless you. I'm sure you can't wait till it's over. So where are we going to be delivering to? You have a zip code. You kind of let them tell you where you're delivering to instead of asking what their address is. Where are we delivering to? Again, you're assuming the sale. Psychologically, the customer starts to do the same thing. When you start speaking in terms of, hey, you are booking with me, the customer will start to think of, hey, I am booking with them. Okay, so now you get their address, and now you have everything that you need for to create a quote. The last thing is, are we going to be setting up on, or are we setting up all this stuff on grass or on your driveway? And then obviously they want it delivered. And then, okay, last thing I need is your number and email, and then I can get you a quote. Now that we have that, next, let's start talking about what they want to rent. So next I'll go into, okay, so what are you interested in renting? What would make this perfect event? Well, I was thinking I need a bounce house. Okay, so cool bounce house. Is it for a boy, girl? What ages? This is where it's a good idea to start dropping the price to let them know kind of what to expect. We have bounce houses anywhere from, $200 to $2,000. Just kind of depends on how big of a party you want to go, what kind of experience you want. I like to do that just to kind of let them know, like, we have a lot of different things. They're like, well, no, it's just for a toddler. They just, we're really trying to stick around $500, something like that. So now you're kind of getting them to think that way. You add it in to here to say, okay, so do you want something like with a water slide? Okay, so they want a water slide. So now I can go to water slides. And then I could see what water slides are available that day. So these are not available, these are available. And obviously I'm gonna lead the sale and I'm gonna lead them to get something that we do have. Oh, great news. Our 15-foot tropical purple, our tropical crush is actually available that day. That's a top renter. So I'll quote you for that. Are you expecting a lot of guests? Do you need tables and chairs? Do you have covered? Do you need a tent? Do you have any kind of shelter? So you kind of go from there and then you're good. Once you have put everything in, you go back and now you're ready to make the offer, okay? So making the offer. All right, Ashley, so the price for everything I mentioned is gonna be $600 and blah, 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 plus tax. Now that includes the bounce house, the 30 chairs, the 2 tables, the pop-up tent, plus delivery, setup, tear down, pick up. You don't have to worry about picking any of this stuff up. We're going to deliver. We're going to set it up. We're going to have it all set up by this time, blah, 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 blah. And all that would be due today would just be 50%. So that would be $200. And then we'll lock that in. Silence. Give them a minute to kind of process what you just said and respond. And then from there, they will either say, okay, let me get my card, or they'll say, let me think about it, whatever, or they'll have questions. It sounds really simple, guys, but this is really, really, it works. And if you repeat it every single time, it works really well. We can ask, you can even say something like, now, would you prefer to book over the phone, or I could send you a text? You really don't want to say that. No, you want them to book over the phone because that's the best way to get the deposit right now. All right, now let's talk about the big one, price objections. What do you say when you say, whoa, that's too much. I found somebody cheaper, whatever. If you have a pickup option, you can offer that, although I don't recommend it, especially if you have insurance and you're not supposed to be doing that. But I do let them know that we have lower options. Well, if that's too much, that we do have something within your budget, or do you really want to pick it up? It's really big, or you could save blah, 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 blah. But what I really like to do is build the value rather than lower the price. So I'll say something like, no, I totally understand price is definitely a big thing. Have you gotten any other prices? Have you seen them? Because this is kind of how they charge. We do really work hard to make sure that we're competitively priced, because it depends. It depends on what it is, right? If you know that it's expensive for the market, then you don't want to say that. But if it's a newer customer, like my parents never rented us a bounce house. If you told them $100, they're going to say it's too much, right? So you want to kind of know who you're talking to. Are they somebody that just thinks in general this is too much, or there's somebody who is priced around and you're more expensive? And if they come back and they say, yeah, well, I saw so-and-so was, $50 cheaper. Oh yeah, I totally get it. Yeah, so look, so we're all about delivering the experience and making sure we give you great service. We're definitely not the cheapest. Our goal is never to be the cheapest, but let me tell you how we're different and why we're worth the extra $50. If you look at our Google reviews, they all mention that our stuff is clean. We have more reviews than everybody else. Or if you don't have more reviews, you want to use something that makes you special. Even if you have 0 reviews, you can use that to your advantage. And that's where you say something like, well, our stuff is brand new. You might even be the very first person using this inflatable. You don't have to worry about what we deliver being totally different from the picture. We hear that sometimes where you see that where you get the smelly bounce house and it ruins your party. Our stuff is brand stinking new. You'll be one of the first people to rent it. I'm personally going to deliver it to you. I'm the owner. You can use that to your advantage. I would never say that. I can't compete with that. If somebody says, I need, XYZ, I can't compete with a new guy, right? I have different things I can use. So you want to use whatever's in your arsenal, whatever makes you special, and sell that, add the value. Plus, you don't have to worry about the extension cord. You don't have to worry about the blower. Some people you don't have to worry about setting it all up. You don't have to worry about staking it. You add these things that to you and me, it's common sense, but you're building up the value, because here's what's going to happen. They're probably going to talk to another company, or they already spoke to another company who just gave them a price that was lower than yours, but did not mention all these other things. So as you start building up the value, building, they be like, that other company didn't say they're going to do all that. I wonder if that's extra. I wonder if they're not going to do it. I wonder if they're going to drop it off and go. I wonder if they're going to get there and then I need to use my own extension cord or this or that. So you really want to use that, and you want to stress your value. If you've done a good job smiling with the customer, laughing with them up till this point, using their name, being less formal and more friendly, bringing up some conversation, finding some common ground, you will find that they are less likely to fight you on price because they like you. And this is key. People don't want to buy products. People want to buy from other people. And your job as a salesperson is not to close a sale. It's to open a relationship. You want to build a relationship with this person. You want them to feel comfortable with you. You want them to be like, I called 3 other companies. This is the first one that's called me back, or this is the only one that's picked up. And you can even use it. You say, Ashley, how many companies have you called? How many have answered? At least you know that I'm going to show up on time. We pick up right away. We have backup. We have extra trucks. We have extra equipment. You're never going to have to worry about us being late. Is that worth $50 for you? I think it is. We're licensed. We're insured. Would you rather take a risk with a lower company that you don't know much about them? And I'm a pretty cool guy. I think you could tell that, right? I answered. And you think I'm worth an extra $50 just to make sure that I show up? Or would you rather save $50 and risk working with a company that you don't really know much about and you don't really have a good, you don't really have a reason to be invested in them? You have to use these things to build up your value. But at the end of the day, people want to buy from other people, not products, not a website. And that's where you can set yourself apart. If they're ready to book, awesome. You're definitely making a good choice here. And soon you're going to find out why. What's your email address so I can send it over to you? By the way, how'd you hear about us? I'll ask that, and I will collect the payment. Just always collect the payment. Now, if they need to think about it, or if they're not ready to book right now, okay, no problem, Ashley. Let me get your email so that I can send this over to you, right? I told you already asked for the email and phone number. Usually I'll ask for the email a little bit later. So for now, just ask for the phone number earlier. You don't want to ask for too much. Emails are kind of clunky to ask for. So I don't ask for the email earlier. Now is the time to say, okay, I totally get it, Ashley. You got to check with your husband. No problem. What's your email? Let me send this over to you. By the way, how'd you hear about us? Oh, yeah, I saw you on the Facebook group, or I saw you on Google. Okay, so you can put in your notes, whatever. And then you always want to bam, fam. Bam, fam. Bam, fam. Bam, fam stands for book a meeting from a meeting. Book a meeting from, never hang up the phone until you book the next meeting, until you schedule the next meeting. Now, this is more something I learned for Event Hawk. You're not booking a meeting, you're booking a call. So that would be back or whatever, doesn't sound right. So what you want to do is, okay, when do you think you're going to talk to your husband, Ashley? Oh, he comes home from work today at 6, so we'll probably talk after dinner. Okay, is it okay if I call you around the same time tomorrow? Around this time tomorrow, just to check in, see how the conversation went? Yes, that's no problem. You put it in your calendar, you put it in your CRM. If you're using our CRM, if you're using Event Hawk software, Event Hawk CRM, you can schedule all that in the system. It'll schedule it for you. It'll do all that for you. It is very, very important. This way, you don't have to feel weird about calling her back or whatever. Or if you want, you could just schedule a text in Event Hawk. You could just go in and say, schedule a text to send her a text this time tomorrow, and then you don't have to worry about it. And just say, hey, just following up, Ashley wanted to pick up on our conversation. I actually checked with the manager. We can actually deliver a day early, whatever it is you want to add to sweeten the pot. If they haven't called you by then, you can do something like that, and you can schedule that text. Because right now, if you're getting 2 calls a day, no problem. Once you start getting 50 calls a day like me, you don't have time to call 50 people the next day. So we like to schedule the text message right then and there, and it'll automatically go to them. Once you do that, that's pretty much where you can go. You don't want to fight too much. A lot of times, it depends how bad you want to try to get the sale then and there, but sometimes it's okay to just give them some space. I like to let them know, this is my last unicorn combo. I only have one, but I don't have to tell her that. And it's ethical, right? I'm not telling her that I have more than one, but if you only have one unicorn combo, you just got to say, okay, when can I check back with you later tonight? Because this is my last unicorn combo, and you said that Sally really wants a unicorn birthday party. So, or this is my last one for that date, or that date's been really popular. But saying things like the last one, adding a deal, like, hey, if you book it today, I can add on another $20, or I can give you free overnight, right? Or I can deliver it a little earlier. Once you're smaller, you can do a lot of these things. As you grow, it's harder and harder to promise those things ahead of time, but you want to leverage some kind of scarcity. And what's the other one? Scarcity means not. I don't have enough. I only have one of these. Very, very important to do scarcity. This is my last one for that day. And this is where it's helpful if you only have 2 bounce houses, right? This is my last one. Yeah, no duh, right? That's scarcity. And then urgency is if you book it today because I'm not going to be available tomorrow, blah, blah, blah. I can give you free overnight because I'm in front of the computer right now. I can do my route. If you wait till tomorrow to book it, I can't promise that because X, Y, Z. That's how you use scarcity and urgency. Now, that's it for closing sales. This is the process that we use. There's a lot more that we do with the technology that you guys will learn more with some of this stuff. But in the next video, I'm going to go ahead and talk to you guys about what we say after they book. All right. So if you got this far, thank you for listening. I hope this has been helpful. Accountability, to hold you accountable, I need you to go in the comments right now of this video and put in your city and state so that you can mark off that you watched this video and you completed it. Go ahead and do that right now, and I'll see you in the next one.